All right, guys, I'm back to give you another look-see. This is the 1940 Packard formal sedan. I've got the trunk in. The last video I had it cut out and sort of dry fit. Now it's welded and painted with what I had laying around, which is high gloss black, which really made it look ugly. But I'll give you a look-see and show you what I'm going to tackle next. All right, here we go. I got the seat removed finally, at least enough of it so I can work with it. I'm not going to take this section out. I think the car would fall apart if I did that. So I'm going to see if I can just sort of slide something under it, work under it, and leave it. But this is what we're going to start fooling with now. See how much of this I can get made up. It's fairly straightforward because it's not much angles and it's fairly flat. I think there's a little hump over the transmission and it looks like a real mild hump right there. But I'll make it probably in 4 pieces, so make it just a little easier. I'm not sure what I'll do up here. Probably well, we'll have to see how it's going to go. I might ride these pieces up a little ways and tie into all this. I think that section there has to be able to be removed, so I'll have to make that separately, but that shouldn't be that big of a deal. I have enough to see what the original looked like, and then I just got to figure out a way to put these impressions in it to somewhat look like what was here. There's where the battery went, so there's a big old hole there for the battery. Looked like it took a D4. I mean, that's a big battery. And then now we got the back seat. This area through here, which was under the seat, isn't half bad, so I don't think I'm too much in there. A couple little hockey pucks maybe, but very small. But this, of course, is going to need everything. And it's the same way. It's a little hump there, and that shouldn't be any issue. I'll make this probably in 3 pieces. Make this, that, and then make the hump, and then weld the hump in. So we'll sort of see. I'm not sure how I'm going to tie it into these areas yet. We'll have to see about that, because this floor is under this, and this is the rocker. There's all one piece all the way to here. So we'll have to see what I'm going to do there. And let me show you the trunk. Now I've got a bunch of junk in it. Yeah, I put all my tools that were laying on the floor in the trunk. And the trunk came out pretty good. It's strong and it welded in okay. And sides to front, all that looks pretty good. The only problem I had was making these lines. They're really crude on how I made them. I can do a better job. I just didn't spend a lot of time with it on the trunk. All the lines are basically bad. I just beat them out with a hammer, and then I laid them on a pipe and smoothed them up a little bit, and they're good enough for the trunk, because it's going to get a mat over it, and might even put some kind of putty over the whole thing or something, I don't know, to insulate it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there, but you know, we're all tied in good on all the areas. So the only drawback on the whole thing is I don't have a bead roller, which I'd like to have, but I don't have one. I tried 2 different ways to make the bead. This one here, you can see I made a jig, and the jig isn't really strong enough, and I did it with an air hammer, and it didn't come out very good. This one here, which looks fairly straight, I did it in the brake, and I just bent it a little bit at a time like that, and then straightened the metal. And it made it straight this way, but the metal has this going on with it. So I didn't come up with a really good solution for this, for the bead roller. Now, I didn't spend a lot of time with it neither. So, you know, there's guys out there that could, just do it this way and it'd be absolutely perfect and it'll take you about 10 minutes. Well, I know there is a way to do it without a bead roller, but, and I might figure it out because I do got to do some up here and I'd like to get better at making the beads, or at least figure out how to make the beads a little easier. So I'm going to work with it. And I've looked on YouTube and everybody shows a bead roller and making these exotic jigs, and you spend a lot of time making this stuff. And I guess you really have to do that to really do a good job. But I'm not going to spend that much time on making a jig just to put some beads in it. I think I hate to say it, but I'd rather them look a little crude, get the job done. And it is a floor, and I don't expect anybody to take pictures of the floor saying, oh man, that's a nice floor. You're going to throw a carpet over it or insulation, whatever you're going to do, it's done. So this is what I'm going to do. I know it's the wrong attitude to have, but, this car needs so much that I've got to pick the pace up, or I'm going to spend my whole life working on this thing, and I don't want to do that. So we're going to do it however I can, as good as I can. So this is where we are. So I guess I am going to get busy and see what I can get done. Debating where to start first. All right, guys. So this is what I'm doing, and it's ugly, but hey, you're not going to fall through the floor, and that's really the answer. I guess I could use a lot of duct tape and should be good, but I'm going to use sheet metal. All right, later, guys. Bye.